Eventually. What is up, everybody? It is Sunday, beginning of October. It is October the 5th. It is time to start a whole new theme. Oh, by the way, it is 8:01 Pacific Standard Time. Do you know where your cryptids are?
You know the answer.
Got a little bit ahead of myself.
You did. You're a little
That's all
excited
right.
tonight. Come down. Have a drink or two.
I've got one.
Yeah, right.
All right, so we're going to have to put this out there first and foremost. We are talking about possessions, exorcisms, and poltergeists this month. So, viewer, listener, beware.
Oh, this could be a very good month.
It's going to be a good month, and we are season 4, episode 16, rapidly closing in on season 5. Which means once we hit season 5, episode 20, that'll be episode 100, which means we're going to have to do something really kind of cool for that one.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out when we get there. But right now, Tammy, the research officer, is going to tell us all about our first case.
Okay, so welcome to October and Exorcism Month. And we're going to start off tonight with a famous case of Anna Elizabeth, also known as Anneliese Michel. And there was a film loosely based on her story called The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Good movie.
I want to watch all these movies now that
Right.
we're
I'm
talking
just,
about
sitting
them all
here,
the time.
I'm just sitting here thinking I need to start watching some movies because if all this stuff is based on true stories, I need to start watching them.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Okay, so Anneliese, as she was called, was born in Liebling, Bavaria, in West Germany. Her parents, Joseph and Anna, and her 3 sisters welcomed her into the family on September 21st, 1952. They were a devout Roman Catholic family, and they would attend Mass twice a week. And it was a pretty average family until things started going wrong with Anneliese, and she was having some issues. And at the age of 16, she had her first convulsion. Hold on, I need to get out of that. And she tried to live a normal life. She wanted to attend college, and she was at the University of Würzburg. But her episodes continued to get worse. She was described by her classmates as being closed off and deeply religious. It was said that she blacked out at school and began walking around in a daze. Her friends would say that she was in a trance-like state, but Anneliese wouldn't have any memory of the event. A year later, it would happen to her again. She woke up in a trance and went to bed. A series of convulsions caused her body to shake uncontrollably. Her second convulsion would lead to a diagnosis of temporal lobe epilepsy. Temporal lobe epilepsy is a disorder that causes seizures, loss of memory, and experiencing visual and auditory hallucinations. It can also cause Geschwin syndrome. Geschwin syndrome, or Gestat-Geschwin syndrome, GGS, is a collection of personality and behavioral changes, including hypergraphia, which is excessive writing, hyperreligiosity, which is the intense religious interest, and hyposexuality, doesn't have any sexual desire to do anything. It's most often associated with temporal lobe epilepsy, TLE, and the treatment focuses on managing the underlying condition and providing symptomatic relief. They also diagnosed her with bipolar and a lot of mental issues, manic depression. She had a history of psychiatric treatment. And let's see. So after her diagnosis, she began taking medication for her epilepsy. She started on Dilantin and other anticonvulsive drugs. These didn't seem to help her at all. She ended up being hospitalized and began to describe seeing devil spaces at various times of the day. That would be scary. The doctors tried Alept, which is much like chlorpromazine, and it was used to treat schizophrenia, disturbed behaviors, and delusions. The drugs were not working for her, and she was still taking the medication, but she began to see the face of the devil all the time. And the demons were now talking to her.
You know, my demons always talk to me, but it's just a crazy husky.
Yeah. Okay, so they so when they were talking to her, they would tell her that, you know, you're just damned and you're just going to rot in hell. So they weren't nice demons, that's for sure. And it was what happened while she would be praying. And it made her decide that she was being possessed by the devil himself. So she needed to find a solution outside of medicine. Her friends and family were certain that she was possessed by a demon. She had also became suicidal. Her delusions were increasing and becoming more extreme. She believed she was possessed. So here's where it gets good. She would rip the clothes off her body. She would compulsively perform 400 squats a day, would crawl under a table and bark like a dog for 2 days. She ate spiders and coal, and she bit the head off a dead bird, and she licked up her own urine from the floor.
Well, a little bit of Ozzy Osbourne in there somewhere.
Yeah, but 400 squats a day,
That's
man. Can you imagine the size of her legs? That woman was stacked.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I mean, spiders. Yeah, spiders. It's a good source of protein.
First thing I thought it was Ozzy Osbourne.
It may not be a bat, but it's still a bird. It still flew.
Yeah.
Hello.
It still flies and has wings.
Hello, Julianne. Glad you're with us.
The Michel family began consulting priests to request an exorcism. But the priest would tell him, no, I recommend you keep using the medications, and you have to get the bishop's permission anyway. The Catholic Church required official approval for an exorcism. It is only granted when the subject meets very strict criteria. They must be considered suffering from possession, also known as infestatio, and they must be under demonic control. I would say she probably has some of that, but the priests were still like, nah, just take your medication.
You're fine. You're hanging from the ceiling. You're fine.
Well, you're barking and crawling around like a dog. Yeah, you're perfectly fine.
Fine.
And you're eating birds.
Right?
It's fine. It's good.
At least she's getting some protein.
And good exercise.
That's true.
400 squats a day, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think my body would handle that. The now 20-year-old had an intense dislike for religious objects and supernatural powers. Okay, so she had an intense dislike for religious objects. And that, along with supernatural powers, are some of the first indications that there is of demonic possession. And she was able to prove the dislike for religious objects when she became intolerant of Christian sacred places, objects, and the crucifix. She visited the unauthorized shrine of San Damiano in Placenza. The trip was taken with a family friend who regularly hosted Christian pilgrimages to Italy. Her escort was convinced she was suffering from demonic possession as she was unable to walk past a crucifix or drink the water from the Christian holy spring. One of the priests, Father Ernst Alt, would tell about Anneliese and a conversation they had, which was confirmed by, I believe it was by the family friend, Greyheim. It says, she was unable to enter the shrine. She approached it with the greatest hesitation. Then she said that the soil burned like fire and she simply could not stand it. She would then walk around the shrine in a wide arc and try to approach it from the back. She looked at the people who were kneeling in the area surrounding the little garden, and it seemed to her that while they were praying, they were gnashing their teeth. She got as far as the edge of the little garden and she had to turn back. Coming from the front again, she had to avert her glance from the picture of Christ in the chapel of the house. She made it several times to the garden, but could not get past it. She noted that she could no longer look at medals or pictures of the saints. They sparkled so immensely that she could not stand it.
So you're saying they were Twilight vampires to her?
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
I guess she wouldn't like all my medals that I have. All of mine aren't shiny. So her mom, Anneliese Michel, said that she saw stigmata on her daughter and believed that she could communicate with Mary, the mother of Jesus. Stigmata is the marks and wounds on the body that matches those suffered by Jesus during the crucifixion. It's usually on the hands and the head from the crown of thorns, and the feet from being nailed to the cross. This still didn't show the priest that she was possessed. And her condition worsened physically, and she began to display aggression. She caused injury to herself, she drank her own urine, and she ate insects. She began growling obscenities, screaming guttural curses, and raving wildly. But yeah, they still didn't think that she was possessed. But in the September of 1974, Father Alt visited Anneliese, and he said she didn't look like an epileptic. He didn't experience seeing her having any seizures. And by July of 1975, Father Alt believed she was suffering from demonic possession and urged the Bishop of Wurzburg to allow an exorcism. So in August, Alt was granted permission to do a small exorcism. This was Pope Leo VIII's exorcism against Satan and the apostate angels, which is a rite which any priest can recite without episcopal approval. So I guess we could do that one, huh?
Yeah. I do have a book of exorcisms that if a client has requested something that's small and quick, we can do a small, quick one without calling in a priest or a father. we don't typically do that a lot. We try to call in the professionals.
Yeah, from the studying I did at Christian college, yeah, I would rather call in the professionals too. So Father Rodwick joined Father Alt on a visit to see Anneliese. They told the bishop that they wanted to do a genuine demonic possession ritual and urged him to consider to allow them a major rite of exorcism. So on September 24th, 1975, the Salvatorian priest Arnold Rentz was granted permission to perform an exorcism according to Roman ritual, but it must be done in total secrecy. So he didn't want anybody to know that they were doing a ritual.
Makes you wonder why.
Yeah. Anneliese began to speak more and more about dying to atone for the wayward youth of the day and the evil apostate priests of the modern church. And she only saw what it was in the 2000s. And she asked her parents to stop consulting the doctors and they would just do the exorcisms. The Latin phrase used to expel the demons is Vade retro Satana, go back Satan. So for the next 10 months, 1 or 2 exorcisms would take place each week, lasting up to 4 hours each, totaling 67 sessions that they put her through.
Damn, that's an awful lot just for an exorcism.
That is a ton of exorcisms.
So during her sessions, she would reveal.
Sorry, but James and I are just kind of it's been a long weekend. We haven't had enough go juice.
That's why it's called a refill. This is our exorcism, all right?
Sorry, Tammy, go out
I should have written. No, that's okay. I'm just thinking, man, I did not write enough with you guys not talking.
Well, I mean, we could totally interrupt you all night long, but, you know, we want the meat and bones here.
Okay, well, during her sessions, she would reveal that she believed that 6 demons possessed her.
Only 6.
The demons were Lucifer. Only 6. But it was Lucifer, Cain, Judas Iscariot, Adolf Hitler, Nero, and an evil, disgraced priest named Fleischmann.
Wait a second.
And the demons would get into
Adolf Hitler is a demon?
Well, here's the crazy thing, right? Well, I mean, this was in the 70s. Adolf Hitler, with new reports that came out that he moved to Argentina and died in 1965, so.
And she was from Germany, and she was on the west side.
Yeah, but I mean, if Adolf dies in 1965 and not the 40 whatever that they originally told us, conspiracy theory time.
You throwing that conspiracy theory.
I'm throwing a conspiracy theory because Argentina just released their document saying Adolf Hitler actually moved to Argentina. He was smuggled out of the country and lived until 1965. So if this was in the mid-70s, and yeah, he would still would have gone out.
Okay, fine.
And Nero, what? Why would Nero? Sorry. It's been a long weekend.
Can you imagine some of the arguments? I think I have some of them here on paper. Let's see.
Oh, we gotta go here. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't get to type up as much as I wanted to because I got called into work.
Oh, that's all right.
But I know that there was an argument in here between
Adolf Hitler and
a
Nero.
couple of them. Okay. Okay, so it says, oh, this is from the film.
Oh, there's the letdown.
Yeah.
You built it and then you tore it down.
That
Sounds
one-
kind of familiar.
Well, I do know on YouTube
There's gotta be more.
there are the recordings of her exorcisms on YouTube.
Serious?
Serious.
Ah.
Interesting.
We're only 21 minutes in, and James and I are about dead.
No, I still got more. I'm just
got
trying
plenty.
to find the.
I'm curious about these arguments. I want to know what these demons arguing about. It almost sounds comical.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, Tammy wasn't prepared for this.
Okay, now I gotta look for it because it was something about someone being pigs.
Oh, we're back to the bacon again. Was it 4 pounds of
Oh,
bacon?
I'll have to bring you guys bacon when I come to visit.
We ain't gonna have no place to store that.
We'll just snack on it during the walk.
I can bring the pre-cooked bacon. Okay. Man, now I gotta look
22
it up
minutes in, and
because
we're
I-
off the rails.
Hey, it's chaos. That's what we breed on. Chaos. All
So
right.
it's good
Well,
thing I actually
hell.
confused one. Why is this not working? Oh well. But there was something about Adolf Hitler calling somebody a pig, and it got really good. I keep coming to the part where it says bit the head off a dead bird. Oh man.
The first spot is Ozzy
Okay,
Osbourne.
here it is.
Okay.
It says, during the course of her exorcism, Anneliese continued to physically and mentally deteriorate. The demons argued with each other, and with Hitler saying, people are as stupid as pigs. They think it's all over after death. It just goes on. And Judas was telling Hitler that, saying that Hitler was nothing but a big mouth and he had really no say in hell. And that was all of that. I thought there
Oh,
was
come
more, but
on. Oh. I knew Hitler had to have
I'm
something
sure that if
involved.
I look, there's a lot more. Let's see.
All right, where did we leave off?
Oh, man. My computer's being a pain tonight. Okay. Anyway, so they were
your
arguing with each
computer's
other.
possessed.
This week it has been. It has not wanted to do anything. Anyway, we made it to the bad part. So Anneliese would die in her home on July 1st, 1976. Her autopsy would state that the cause of death was malnutrition and dehydration from almost a year of near starvation while the rites of exorcism were being performed on her. So she was 23 when she took her last breath, and she only weighed 66 pounds.
Wow. That's almost as much as one of my pit bulls weighs.
Yeah.
Dang. Nah.
And
I don't know. I think the reason why James and I aren't making a lot of jokes and stuff is because it's really not kind of a joking matter.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
Yeah. I something like this, I can't go doing a lot of joking around type of stuff. This is more on the serious type, and god dang it, I haven't had enough to drink yet.
I mean, geez, we might actually have like an actual serious month.
Oh, damn. That means I should.
Julianne says her last known words on the day before she died. She told her exorcist, begged for absolution. Told her mother, she said, "Mother, I'm afraid."
Yeah.
So there is a video called "The Messed Up Exorcisms of Anneliese."
The messed up.
Yeah, Messed Up Exorcism. It's on YouTube.
Which one out of 67?
How can you mess up an exorcism? I'm genuinely curious about that.
Let alone 67.
Yeah. Oh, so in the movie, it wasn't. They didn't have Adolf Hitler. It was Belial and Legion.
Yeah, the movie. Yeah, I don't think Tammy said this part here. She suffered broken knees and ripped tendons from the constant frame. She was also unable to move without help and suffering from pneumonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever look up, if you look up the pictures of her before she went, she was in bad shape. Julian says, I've heard a little bit of the real tapes. It's just sad. It is sad. Anyway, go ahead, Tammy. We brought the mood down. You got to bring us somewhat up.
No, she said somewhat up.
On March 30th, 1978, the priests and parents went on trial. And it was for negligent homicide. And the doctors would say that she was not possessed, but it was manifestations of demonic possession caused by the strict religious upbringing that her parents imposed on her along with her epilepsy. So now they're blaming it on the parents.
Yeah, Julianne says she was abused and killed, which pretty much sounds about right.
Yeah. And the bishop would go on to say that he wasn't aware that she had a medical condition when he gave permission for the exorcism, and so he did not testify. The parents and the priests were convicted of negligent homicide. The priests were sentenced to 6 months in jail, and it was later suspended, so they didn't serve any time. They were also sentenced to 3 years probation. The parents were exempted from punishment because the law said that, oh, you've suffered enough, you know, your kid's gone and all that. And her grave is now a pilgrimage site for a lot of Catholics. They like to go and, I guess, mourn, leave flowers. It's kind of like, I don't know if she's gotten, if they're, I don't know. It's I did read one thing where they had buried her, but then they decided that they wanted to give her a better burial place, so they exhumed her and then got her a better coffin and put her into a new place.
So it's basically the doctors and the parents went to trial, and no one actually spent time doing time. They all got off, with the except for the 3 years probation for the the priest, and the parents, they suffered enough. Come on, nowadays it's like you kill your kid, you're gone, done, dead, going to jail for a lifetime, if not going to death. And the priest.
So here's an article that was in the New York Times. It's called "Germans Stirred by the Death of Woman in Exorcism," and it's from August 7th of 1976. And it says, after an agonizing ritual that might have come from the movie The Exorcist, a 22-year-old West German woman possessed by demons, according to her priest, died of undernourishment July 1st. The case has stirred mass religious passions in this half-Protestant, half-Roman Catholic country. Yesterday, the district attorney of Aschaffenburg announced he was investigating 4 criminal complaints against Dr. Josef Stengel, who is the Catholic bishop of diocese that was involved. He was the bishop that gave permission. The bishop's office authorized exorcism, the prosecutor said. The investigation was to determine whether criminal negligence contributed to the death of the woman who lived in the Catholic village of Klingenberg. Let's see. That exorcism even existed in West Germany, but it was unknown until the death of Anneliese. So I guess they did the exorcisms, but it was secret, so nobody knew about it until after the fact. But then some reports in the case says that it may be they did some weird writing back then. Anyway, it may be commonplace. The woman was described as religious and sensitive. She was a teaching student at the University of Würzburg and was living in a dormitory when she began to show signs of the abnormal behavior. She refused to eat and started losing weight rapidly. Then she began having fits of violence. You guys need to be drinking because my words are all over the place.
You want a drink?
And then it turned out that it was a Jesuit priest, Adolf Roderick, that was named after he was the exorcism expert that came in. Because the original one was 81 years old, so they thought he was too old to do the exorcism. And so it said that the boy, so it says, Father Renz identified the voice as one of the 2 demons that he said possessed the girl. Spirits named Hitler and Nero. He forced the devil called Hitler to recite the prayer Hail Mary. Father Renz said, and it did it in a stutter as though against its will. And that's all I got from that one. That's a very sad story. Now I want to go watch the Exorcism Emily Rose.
I mean, it sounds not necessarily. I mean, some people could say it's possession, but back then, mental illness wasn't really, on the forefront, so to speak, as it is nowadays.
Yeah, even when we were kids, there was no diagnosis for stuff, and if you had ADHD or something, it's like you wouldn't be diagnosed with anything. You had to be severely intellectually or developmentally delayed for anything to be done, and then you're put in classrooms or the special ed rooms and stuff.
Right.
But
yeah, the mental illness and her actions kind of, I don't know if they, the actions and mental illness versus the actions and possession. I a little skeptic's corner. I'm saying she was just mentally ill, and they didn't know exactly how to treat her, and everyone was saying she's just possessed. Let's give her an exorcism, and 67 sessions over a year, and not being able to eat or drink a whole lot. That's going to take a toll on anybody's body. Dying at 23 or whatever it is, at 66 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I've seen some of the pictures, and I can't go much more than mental illness. They didn't know how to, to go about diagnosing anything further.
Yeah, I've seen people that were bipolar that a lot of their hallucinations and schizophrenia was very religious based, and God was doing this or that,
and you hear in the news all the time, religious families, if their children are sick, they're not going to take their kids to doctors. They just want the church or whoever, the priest, to come over and do what they do, and the parents will go be convicted or whatnot in the courts for killing their kids because they wouldn't take them to the doctors to get treatment for something simple. So you hear about it all the time. It's not necessarily a possession.
It's the parents' possession.
Exactly.
So, do we count that as a skeptic's corner?
Well, I just said a little early. Hell.
Well, I think, this might be Stephen Thomas says, interesting. Thank you. Good job. This might be a shorter show tonight because I don't know how much more we can. Skeptic's corner. Heavy duty religious family. She's epileptic, needing help. She reinterprets everything as demonic possession.
So here's an interesting part. It says, Joseph Michel died in 1999. In a 2006 interview, the mom said that they did not regret their actions, saying, "I know we did the right thing because I saw the sign of Christ in her hands." On June 6, 2013, a fire engulfed the house where they had lived. Although the local police determined it was a case of arson, some locals attributed the fire to the exorcism.
That doesn't make any sense. Attribute it to the exorcism. When the exorcism was done way back in the 70s?
Yeah, 70s.
That's totally BS. I could probably believe arson, but I think there might have been some electrical issue there. How's that? Being on the real here.
Yeah, we're trying to stretch this out. There's a video game?
A bit
There's
what?
a video game called Faith, the Unholy Trinity, and it uses audio from the exorcism tapes for a boss fight.
No way. Now people are trying to profit off of this?
Well, people are going to profit off of everything.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but that's more infuriating than anything.
There's a metal band called Ice Nine Kills who used some of the recordings of Anneliese in the intro of their song Communion of the Cursed. There was a podcast called My Favorite Murder, and it was the episode The Devil's Number, and they covered the exorcism. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Oh, first issue, the debut band by post-punk band Public Image contains a song called Anneliese that's based on the case. So they've made songs and video games and everything else based on this poor girl.
No wonder the house burned down. She can't rest.
Right?
Yeah. So they did, after the trial, the parents asked for the authorities for permission to exhume the remains of their daughter because she had been buried in an undue hurry in a cheap coffin. Almost 2 years later, her remains were placed in a new oak coffin lined with tin. The family and the priest were discouraged from viewing her remains, and one of the fathers was not allowed to enter the mortuary. And her gravesite remains a pilgrimage site as she is revered by small groups of Catholics who believe she atoned for wayward priests and sinful youth. And then, after her exorcism, officially sanctioned exorcisms decreased in Germany. So I guess some good came out of it.
Yeah. I think we're good. I think we should wrap it up. And there's not much else we can talk about this. It was a horrible thing that happened to the poor girl. If you want to go to YouTube and look for those, we're not going to link it. I would just look up the audio. Be warned. Be prepared. It's brutal. If you don't want to do that and you want to know more about the story, you can look up The Exorcism of Emily Rose on any streaming platform. It's loosely based off of the case, so you're going to get the gist, the basics.
Well, I know since we're down here, I got this stuff all queued up, ready to go. I'm going to be listening and watching this stuff.
And then you're going to go to sleep. Well, I don't think you're sleeping tonight.
I'll be sleeping, no problem.
I will say I've had more interesting dreams lately since I've been doing this exorcism work.
Well, you can also, I would go down to a Catholic church and get yourself some holy water. Maybe fill us up with it.
Actually, I'm rejoining the monastery. I'll be getting holy water when I go up there next week.
All right, then.
Yeah, you can bring some down when you meet up with us in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go up there one Sunday a month. Like I used to before COVID. So next week is The Exorcist, the story of Roland Doe.
Ooh.
So that one was from the Exorcist movie, right?
Yes, that was the movie The Exorcist was based off of him. And then we'll have a couple Ed and Lorraine Warren tapes, and then I don't remember what our last one for the month is, and then November is famous paranormal investigators. December, we'll start out season 5 with Alaskan cryptids and ghosts. We're saving the ghosts of Route 66 for January when the King can join us.
Yeah, because I'm going to probably be unavailable all of December.
Yeah, so we're going to save the good stuff, and we'll fill in with some states while you're gone. Things that aren't really going to be like missed too much.
Well, I gotta tell you guys, I've been having so much fun with this. So thank you for letting me get promoted from #1 fan to helping with research.
And then you'll be on the tour in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll be there on the 18th.
Yeah, hopefully the Klondike's active again.
Yeah, it was really going the other night.
Yeah, a lot of shadow figures seen up in the upper windows. And
Friday night, yeah. Not last night, but definitely
last
Friday.
Saturday was active. Friday night was active. Kind of makes it hard for us as tour guides to do our tour when things are moving in upper windows. And we're like, we want to look up there.
Yeah, so it'll be like we're switching off, you know, talking. One of us will be looking at that 3rd floor, and while the other one's talking, and switching back and forth. Too bad last night.
I know last year I missed all the excitement. It happened the night before last year.
We have our theories on why it was quiet last night. But for those of you that wish to see that, we will be doing a videotape session of the tour. It'll probably be on the YouTube in November. So you all can just join along with us after we're all done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I guess we're just going to go ahead and end it. James, closing words? Fill it out to 50 minutes.
You know what? I don't got no closing words on this because I just gave my lousy 2 cents worth. Mental illness, because they didn't know how to diagnose that shit back in the 70s, and the parents just killed the daughter because, they were too stressed and mentally fucked up themselves.
Sammy, closing words?
I agree with that, and I think the priests were kind of messed up too.
I think, the priests probably were over their head.
Yeah, it was some that didn't really know what they were doing, and there's a reason why they don't let people just randomly do the exorcisms.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
and all I had visualized in my head is the Leslie Nielsen version from one of the scary movies of him doing the exorcism.
I'm going to have to echo everything you guys said. And we're just going to throw it. I'm going to say goodnight. We're going to throw it over to James. He's got the last word as always.
Oh, come on. No, just kidding. Keep your cryptids close and tight. Hug them all night until next week. See you then.
See you later, everybody.